Before I get started, I want to give a shout out to all of the paying members of my Patreon channel. Your support is necessary, and without you, none of this is possible. I'd also like to thank Nightfall Drop for his support of the channel. And shout out to Q, Does That Make Sense, for the $50 donation.
Sparkle, sparkle, sparkle,
And if you'd like to support the channel directly, Cash App and PayPal are available. Just be sure to let me know in the For section if it's okay for me to thank you publicly, or else I'll assume you want to remain anonymous.
And here we go.
So, did you all see what happened with ShaCarri Richardson this past weekend? Apparently, she was going 104 miles per hour in a 65-mile-an-hour zone, and she was taken to jail. And not only that, but her boyfriend, Christian Coleman, was taken with her. And we'll talk more about him later. But my first introduction of ShaCarri Richardson was like everybody else's. It was back in July of 2021 at the US Olympic Trials. And everybody was celebrating, talking about how fast she was and what her future potential was. But all I was looking at was that audacious hairstyle she had. That burnt orange bright hair and the nose rings and the nails and the gaudy jewelry. And I just thought, yuck. I mean, congratulations for the victory, but something about her just looked so gutter. But I didn't mind it. I left it alone because, you know, being flashy just the way that young athletes tend to be. So I paid it no mind. Then shortly after that, she tested positive for marijuana and was suspended from the Olympic team, meaning she wouldn't be able to appear in the 2021 Olympics. And that's when I said, okay, I know who she is and I know what she's all about. Looking at the way that she adorns herself, looking at the way that she behaves off camera, I pretty much know what she's about. And no suspicions were confirmed when she gave that god-awful interview on NBC.
Who am I to tell you how to cope when you're dealing with a pain or you're dealing with a struggle that you've never experienced before or that you've never thought you would have to deal with? Like, who am I to tell you how to cope? Who am I to tell you that you're wrong for hurting?
First of all, you can tell she had no PR training, no media training. She looked uncomfortable, she was prattling, and that's not the worst of it. The worst of it was the hair. She had on a blonde wig and those stupid eyelashes again. Again, it just screamed hood booger, hood rat. It was terrible. And if that wasn't worse, the most embarrassing thing was,
God damn it,
the damn fire alarm. I mean, of all the stereotypes you can have for black people, that is absolutely the worst. I don't know why it is, but we seem to struggle with our fire alarms. And yes, that includes yours truly. But shortly after the Olympics, there was another track meet where she was able to compete against all of the girls who qualified for the Olympics while she had to stay home. And she came in last place. Now, I don't fault her for coming in last place because she hadn't been doing anything for a month, so I figured she was rusty, out of shape possibly. But the thing that really turned me off was her post-match interview.
Today to face these ladies from the Olympic Games.
Coming out today, it was a great return back to the sport. I wanted to be able to come in before, having a month off, dealing with all I was dealing with. I'm not upset at myself at all. This is one race. I'm not done. You know what I'm capable of. Count me out if you want to. Talk all the shit you want, because I'm here to stay. I'm not done. I'm the 6th fastest woman in this game ever. And can't nobody ever take that from me. Congratulations to the winners. Congratulations to the people that won, but they're not done seeing me yet. Period.
Good grief.
And that right there just screamed a lack of professionalism, a lack of media savvy, no self-awareness when it comes to your public image. And it just seemed like that entire summer she couldn't do anything right. She was continuing to fight with the press. She was losing more races. She was posting weird stuff online, including telling people to kiss her you-know-what. The girl was spiraling out of control. It was clear she had nobody in her camp advising her. But more importantly, It seemed as if she didn't care until she hit rock bottom. I don't know where she was coming from or where she was going, but she was on an airplane. And apparently she got into it with one of the passengers. The flight attendants got involved and they kicked her off of the plane. And the worst part about it is everybody on the plane was applauding. And I think that's when she knew she hit rock bottom, because it made her realize just how much people hated her. And to her credit, she turned things around. 2023 was her comeback year. She reinvented herself. She cleaned up her public image. She started winning. She started winning a lot. Those Jamaican girls that blew her out in the track meet after the Olympics, she was dominating all of them in the 100 meters and 200 meters, and she became a world champion in 2023. And in 2024, she qualified for the Olympics and won 2 gold medals in the 100 meters and 4 by 1 100-meter relay. So it looked like she was getting her stuff together. Not only that, but her appearance changed. No longer was she wearing the audacious wigs. She didn't have the bird claw fingernails, the extra long eyelashes, or the gaudy jewelry. So she looked like she was getting serious about her life, and I became a fan of hers. Not just because of the winning, but also because of the way that she was carrying herself. And the best thing about 2024, she got a boyfriend. She started dating sprinter Christian Coleman, and to me, they looked like a perfect couple. So everything was going well until 6 months ago when she had the airport incident. I don't know what happened, but her and her boyfriend, Christian Coleman, got into an argument, and they were caught on camera arguing. When ShaCarri just got out of pocket, she started striking him, pushing him, yelling and screaming at him in front of everybody. And so eventually the police showed up. And the thing that pissed me off about that entire incident is she lied. She tried to make it seem like it was all Christian Coleman's fault, that he was the aggressor, and she was trying to get him arrested.
I'm in a domestic violent relationship. And y'all captured me. I can show you proof of me being in a domestic violent relationship. And he wanted to come out here enough to help me.
And had it not been for the cameras, he probably would have been arrested. But long story short, she was the one that wound up going to jail. So all was quiet on the ShaCarri Richardson front for about 6 months, until this past Friday, where she was arrested for speeding and tailgating.
I would wipe that smile off your face. I'm Sergeant McDaniels with the Orange County Sheriff's Office. You're being stopped for dangerous, excessive speeding.
I understand my tire at the back is like literally on 29.
So you're driving at 100, hold on. You're driving at 104 miles an hour in a 65 mile an hour zone with subpar equipment, flashing people to get out of your lights, out of your lane, following too close, using every lane to pass everybody, cutting me off, passing a car on the inside shoulder with their hazard lights on. You're going to jail for dangerous excessive speeding.
I'm so sorry. I did not mean to do that. My phone, I didn't even know my car was speeding.
That's why they give you a speedometer.
I totally understand. I communicate with you, sir. I really do not want to go to jail.
No, most people don't, but you got to think about that before you do the speed. I need your license, your registration, and your insurance.
Again, the police officer had her clocked at 104 miles an hour. Now, I give her credit for being polite. I give her credit for not being combative. I give her credit for following instructions, even though she was a little bit too chatty for my liking. But at the end of the day, she did exactly what the officer told her to do. She didn't make the situation worse. But here's what I find so bizarre about the incident, and this was not caught on camera. As she was getting arrested, Christian Coleman showed up. Now, I thought they had broken up after what happened at the airport, but apparently he had forgiven her, and he dropped charges against her or refused to press charges. So not only did he let her off the hook, but when he showed up at the traffic stop, he was arrested for refusing to give his identity. And when they went through his vehicle, they found drug paraphernalia. So not only did this goofball forgive her, take her back, but then he volunteered to get arrested. Now, I could go on about Christian Coleman and all the mistakes he's made, but that's another discussion. But I don't know what to think of ShaCarri. I mean, she was up, she was down, she was up again for a while, she fell back down, and she's falling back down again. She just can't seem to get her stuff together. I mean, we can talk about rock bottom, but how many more times does she have to hit rock bottom? I thought rock bottom was getting disqualified for the Olympics, getting embarrassed by the Jamaican girls, or getting thrown off the flight. And I thought rock bottom again was getting arrested at the airport. But here she is getting arrested for a second time for speeding. Like I said, I don't know what's going on. I just hope she kind of gets it together, because She still has a promising career ahead of us. She's only 25 years old, so she should be able to make one more Olympic team, possibly pick up a couple of more medals. But right now, she's throwing her talent away, and I hate to see that. So I'm gonna let those be my final thoughts. But before you go, please check out the other videos in my library, as I'm sure there's something there you'll enjoy. And check out my live stream. Every day I go live at 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, where I discuss all of the big and major news stories of the day. And that's all I have to say about it. What do you have to say about it? Leave a comment in the comment section and let's have a conversation. Now streaming on Patreon. Layman's Journal Chapter 272. Today we're going to be addressing a very sensitive topic. We're going to be discussing racism, but not in the traditional sense. You see, oftentimes when you discuss race or racism, it's usually between whites and blacks, with an emphasis on how whites have traditionally treated black people, and how the remnants of historic racism or systemic racism are still present through microaggressions. But rarely is it discussed in a way that highlights racism from other minority groups. We don't talk about how Hispanics, Asians, Arabs, and yes, even Africans and African Latinos harbor feelings of racial prejudice towards foundational Black Americans.
Yeah, you mean your food stamps? I'm a Congolese person. I'm not one of you street American black hobo bitch, okay? Don't get it mixed up, okay? You could have just came here, been nice, we could have a cool conversation. I'm not one of you black Americans. Moi, je suis Congolais. Je suis prince du Congo. Tu me connais pas, all right? Don't put me, man. I'm not one of you.
And in this chapter of the Layman's Journal, we're going to see how racism is practiced within the Indian community. But I want you to know ahead of time, I'm going to be using a lot of hostile and inflammatory language in this video. But I want to make it clear that all of my statements are directed at the people featured in the film, as well as real-life examples shown in shared clips. But most importantly, I want you to be aware that I am not, I repeat not, speaking on Indian people as a whole, just the examples given in the video, and how those attitudes from other minority groups have influenced the minds of Black Americans today. And it all starts on November 5th, 2024, the day we re-elected Donald Trump as president. Not only did his re-election trigger a turning point in American politics, but it also signaled a reconsideration of American policy on immigration. The American people wanted Trump to secure the border and remove the 10 to 25 million migrants that were allowed in under the Biden administration. They also want an overhaul of the H-1B visa program, as well as student visa programs, and the deportation of asylum seekers. And if you think that's extreme, here's more. They want the definition of the 14th Amendment to be clarified, with the understanding that it was written exclusively for the children of freed slaves. In short, they want to repeal birthright citizenship for all but foundational Black Americans, destroying what is commonly known as the Anchor Baby program. And for the most part, Trump has done what the people have asked him to do. Now, he has gone soft on the H-1B visa program, but he's been aggressive in his pursuit of illegal immigrants and has fought to restore the true meaning of the 14th Amendment. So while the political left and right have fought over Trump's policies, foundational Black Americans, or FBAs, have remained silent. We've stood on the sideline as Trump and the Republicans have deported immigrants of color, including ones from African and Caribbean nations. And this has baffled those on the left, as Black people are known for standing up for civil liberties, known for fighting for equality for all. You see, prior to 1965, migration was limited to Western and European nations. But it was Black people in the civil rights movement that fought to open it up to people from non-white countries. But 60 years later, we've been silent. We're not standing up for migrants of color anymore, with many of us in approval of Trump's policies against immigration. And it's caused those to ask, what happened to racial solidarity? What happened to the Black and Brown coalitions? And I think the film Mississippi Masala is an excellent answer to that question. You've just seen a preview of my latest video, which you can watch now in its entirety, uncensored and without obstruction, exclusively on Patreon. Again, that's patreon.com/Layman's Journal. Hope to see you there. I'm out.